Hey, good evening and welcome to Digital Woodcarver. My name is Laney Shaughnessy, and this evening I am co-hosting with Burl Tichenor. We are here to talk to you a little bit tonight about our DWC1824 Mini Carver. Kind of a bit of a continuation of last month's stream where we talked about how to start a CNC business with a digital woodcarver CNC, to be specific. Burl, how are you doing this evening?
Well, we're doing fabulous. We can't complain. Here in Indiana, we went from very cold weather to actually very, very nice weather today. Had a good day. We're very, very busy here at Digital Woodcarver, but really, really excited about tonight. We've already started up with some technical difficulties, and so that's probably going to be how the evening is going to continue. We've got some cool things we're going to try tonight, so bear with us, everyone. If for some reason things don't work as planned, we'll make it through this. We'll have a fun evening. So we're going to try to do something just a little bit different with having a live machine running tonight, where Laney's going to talk about it. He's going to mute me, and I'll have the camera and go around the machine as it's running. So I'm kind of excited about that. That we're going to do something a little bit different with that tonight, but also. We do have a lot of things we need to cover in a short period. So,
absolutely. And Burl, before we get started, and like Burl said, we are going to do a demo. We're going to show off the 1824 Mini Carver. We're going to talk about it and some of its features. We're going to have it running and do a little carving for you guys and girls. But before we get into all that, Burl, I'd like to kind of start off with a little bit of exciting news.
yeah.
For exciting for us, because we've been trying to do this for a long time. One of the things is our new local carvers section on our website, where now visitors to the digitalwoodcarver.com website can find local carvers in their area, and those local carvers are our customers. So if you're a digital woodcarver customer and you have you provide a carving service or a product and everything that you sell, or you might have an Etsy store or Facebook Marketplace, be sure to jump over to the website, and I'll throw the banner up there. There's the link to it to check out those carving services. And then down at the bottom of that page, if you're a digital woodcarver owner, you can go ahead and register to add your services to the list. If you're a visitor to Digital Woodcarver, if you're looking at the Digital Woodcarver website, now there's a place for you folks to be able to go to our website and find someone that can do local CNC carving in or around your area. And that list will continue to grow, Burl. We're just now getting started with it. But it is
That's
pretty exciting.
Yeah, it helps us. A couple of things it does for us. It allows us to kind of promote our customers, give them another avenue to promote their products, show what they can do, and also so people get in there. We get a lot of calls. Laney, I know you get them all the time because I get a few of them myself. Where can I get some stuff done? And, we provide a product. Certainly we can do the service, but we want our customers, the ones doing that. And another thing that we'll get with this is we get a lot of times people would like to see a machine operate. And so it's a good way for potential customers. And we do have our referral program. It started just this year. So it's a way of, so leeway right into that. But it gives you the opportunity as a customer, if somebody in your area or is close to you, where they could look at a machine. When you spend this much money for a machine, you want to just kind of look at it, feel it, touch it, see a little bit of dust coming out, off of it, see those chips come, and that's a good way of being able to do that. And then we will reward you for that in a referral program.
Yeah, that's amazing, because word of mouth is one of the best advertisements out there and our customers. A lot of our customers, they're almost like our salespeople. They're out there just promoting anytime anything. It's digital woodcarver this, digital woodcarver that. So we wanted to be able to reward that effort and stuff for sure. So if you're a digital woodcarver customer, on that local carvers page, and I'll throw that URL up again, down at the bottom, if you happen to refer someone to Digital Wood Carver, there's an option there where you can report a referral, and that will give us a heads up that someone may be coming our way to either look at a machine or purchase a machine. And if they purchase, then you'll get a credit for that, and that credit is going to come in the form of cash or a store credit, with Digital Wood Carver, however you choose. And I believe, Burl, it's a 2% cash percentage, 2% on as far as cash, and 3% store credit with that option and everything. As far as kind of a referral back, a commission, if you will, for that referral. And man, I'm just so glad we've been talking about that for a long time, Burl. And so finally glad to get that going.
Yeah, and everything. That's been exciting because we've talked about it, and just getting the logistics behind the scenes to be able to do it. A lot of times it seems like, well, you can just write this stuff down. We try to get a little more automated, where you and I and the accounting department can have access to all of it, know what's going on. So yeah, that's underway, and on that. So, but tonight,
for sure.
Our main focus is the DWC1824.
Right. So let's, Burl, let's kind of give a little bit of an introduction of the 24. This is our hobby intro unit. That's what I kind of consider it, because we have a line of our 1824, 2440, 4848, and then 5100. And that 1824 is a great package. It's a great size unit to get started, especially, someone that's looking to start a business and kind of grow. And for the price of that unit, 18-inch by 24-inch, that's a large cutting area for a low price and everything. Now, one of the great things about it, it's not a kit. It's fully assembled from the factory. It's plug and play ready. It comes with a 1.25 horsepower router already included. It comes with the Planet CNC TNG motion controller software included. And then it also comes with the Vectric V-Carve desktop software included. So it's plug and play ready. It's you order that unit in. When you get it, basically it's load up your computer, connect to it, install the software, and you're off and running pretty much, right?
That is correct. That is correct.
Yeah.
So, well, that does go over a little bit. We're going to try something a little bit different tonight. So I'm gonna go off of the camera here, grab a camera where we can actually, Laney, I'm gonna fire up the Mini. So give me a little bit of time if you want to talk about some details of it.
I do.
And yeah. So if you want to turn me off camera wise here.
All right, we'll do that. We'll pull Burl out for the moment, and so. What we're going to talk about is Burl's going to be setting up a job to carve that I designed a little earlier, a little bit, a small crafty design. We're going to jump into Vectric software and take a look at that here in just a moment. But let me tell you just a little bit more about the 1824 Mini Carver. The unit has a 30-inch by 24-inch table. Had to get my thoughts there on this, what I was saying. And of that, you have an 18-inch by 24-inch cutting area. It does come standard with a 1.25 horsepower variable speed router. You get a 60-degree V-bit to kind of get you started. We always recommend that people look into getting a starter bit set, and we offer a nice little 5-piece starter bit set with it as well. But that is an added item. But we do give that 60-degree V-bit, with it, with the purchase. Now, it comes with a dust housing and dust hood and dust skirts for dust collection. And you can attach a shop vac to it or a vacuum system. We do offer shop vacs as an added accessory. It's about $75 if you want to order a shop vac with your unit from us. Or you could use one of your existing shop vacs that you have in your shop. If you're going to use a vacuum system, if it's anything larger than 10 amps, then you'll have that supplied by a separate power supply, and you'll remotely operate that vacuum when you're starting and ending your job. But if it's a small shop vac, I would say like a 3 horsepower, 6-gallon shop vac or so, somewhere around there, 10 amps or less, then it actually plugs into the back of the unit, and the router and the vacuum are controlled by the software, by the controller software. So when you hit start, the router and vacuum turn on. During the carving, it's operating, and then at the end of the job, they shut off together and everything. But let's take a look at the CNC that Burl has, and I'm going to mute that microphone and everything. So he's got a carving going over here. And the Mini Carver's tabletop is a high impact milling tabletop with 3 integrated T-tracks for clamping options. It does come with 2 hold down clamps, but users can either get additional hold down clamps for us, or you can kind of DIY your own, because most likely at some point in time you're going to end up putting a wasteboard on that table and all. Now the unit is lead screw driven for the Y-axis, the Z-axis, as well as the X underneath. And it is running on 3/4 inch stainless steel rods and self-lubricating linear bearings. Burl is most likely listening to everything I say, so he's trying to keep up with what I'm saying as he's showing those things and stuff. So the dust skirts, vinyl dust skirts, they just Velcro right around the housing, but there are dust brush options available too. We have a 1 inch and a 1.5 inch dust brush. You can buy them separately, or you can buy them as a kit to go on there. But the dust skirts they're nice and clear. You can see right through them when you're carving and all, and you'll get 2 of those when you initially get your machine. Now the unit is basically it's our benchtop model is what we kind of call it. It's our Mini Carver, so it can set up on your DIY workbench, or there are stand options, as well as a roller caster set, which is not shown in the video here, but you can get a stand with it as an accessory if you would like. And Burl has he's kind of panning around showing the back of the unit. There are 2 power cords that plug into, they come from your wall outlet, simple 110 power, 15 amp breaker, 20 amp breaker. Most shops are nowadays. But you got 2 power cords in. One controls all the motors and drivers and everything of the unit, and the other one controls the power supply to our router and vacuum system. The unit's power controls are integrated into the back of the unit and everything. Now, it looks like Burl is pretty much underway with that carving, and we're making basically kind of simulating. Let's take a look at what we're simulating here, and I'm going to take and open up our VCarve Pro, and then I'll switch over and we'll show the unit carving while we look at the design. I should have had everything open and ready to go, but I'm slacking in that area. Now Burl is showing right now the linear rods underneath the unit, and the stainless steel, those are self-lubricating linear bearings that those rods travel on. And under the table, which you can't see, the controls are mounted under the table. You'll see a power supply there in the camera, and the main controls and everything are mounted right directly under the table. So it's a self-portable kind of compact unit. I've had users take and because it is, typically it's designed for a shop or workbench, but I've had users take them out, take their Mini Carvers out to the crafts fairs and the craft shows to actually do some custom carving at the shows. And with it being, somewhat lightweight and portable, it's kind of convenient that way. Looks like Burl's moving right along with that carving. As he pans around, I'm going to pull up the design, and he's going to show a little bit of that carving while I pull up the design in the background here. All right, let's move that over here so I can share that screen. All right. Let's see if we can share our screen now. Share. All right, so in the Vectric software, you can see those little hearts in the name that Burl's carving. He's carving kind of a duplicate there just to, I believe he did kind of a test run to make sure I didn't mess them up on the carving. But we basically have a very simple design of some just nice little hearts, a little outline box, the name Beth, that happens to be Burl's wife's name, so I thought that would be appropriate for him. And this would simulate kind of like the center of a jewelry box lid or a keepsake box lid or something. And once we create the vectors in the software, we would then go over and create the toolpath. So I've got one very simple toolpath, a V-carve toolpath here, and we're using a 60-degree V-bit to carve that project. And that 60-degree V-bit's going to do all the work. That's the bit that comes with your machine. So right out of the gate, you can get started with basic V-carving signs and everything. And as you add additional bits to your arsenal of tools, you can get into more things, such as, 3D model cuts and things like that. So this is what the end of the project will look like, that you'll see kind of simulating on the screen, but we're going to actually switch back to the Mini Carver so we can actually see it carving out those products here. Let's go ahead and get that Mini Carver up on the screen, and let's give it a solo layout. And Burl, if you could you turn your phone horizontally to get that horizontal? There you go. And that just gives us a little bit of a wide screen now option. So that looks good. So right now it's doing the kind of the rough cut of the hearts and cutting those shapes out. And then once it kind of gets the deeper areas of the pockets done, it'll go back and do the final touches and everything. I believe that carve was about a 15-minute run, and Burl, it's looking good. The first one looks great. Very cool little design. We'll have to redesign that and actually make a lid. I know you got a nice, pretty jewelry box for Bailey. We'll have to make one for Miss Beth with that little heart design. Valentine's Day is over, but hey, better late than never. Clamps, and generally that's all that's needed to secure the wood, because basically we're keeping it just secured to the table and to where it doesn't move. And generally 2 clamps is enough. Some people like to add additional clamps, and we do have extra clamps that you can purchase. I think they're you can buy a clamp. It's like $5 or something for an additional clamp, so they're very inexpensive. But notice they're made of wood. And we do that purposely. You'll see companies that have aluminum clamps and everything, but those wooden clamps, we actually do that for a purpose. It's not being cheapskates or anything, but man, when if you accidentally run into one of your clamps, it is much softer and gentler on the bit to run into that wooden clamp than it would be to a metal or aluminum clamp and everything. And our bits are kind of they're our bread and butter. As far as we need to keep them sharp and, constantly clean and stuff. So they do a good job for us carving and everything. Burl is, it's looking good. Let's see here. On the Mini Carver, we've got it comes with a 1/4-inch router bit collet, the collet and nut. So 1/4-inch router bits. You can use 1/8-inch shank router bits with a reducer, but if you're ever carving and all, I'm a big fan of like 1/4-inch shanks, because they're a little bit more rigid than a small 1/8-inch bit and everything. But you do have that capacity of 1/8-inch and 1/4-inch, but you would need a reducer for 1/4 to 1/8 with that. But it's a single tool, single-handed operation. There's a button on the front of the router that will lock the head while we're changing the bit with the other tool and everything. So it's pretty easy to change in and out. You'll notice it is a Makita router, a Makita palm router. They are very nice routers. So we wanted to incorporate that into our system and provide that with you, because some kits out there, you've got to be mindful that they may not come with a router. They may not come with a spindle. They may not come with software. So if you are shopping around, definitely think about that as well and ask those questions. Does it come with this? Does it come with that? And if you are shopping around, definitely give us a consideration, digitalwoodcarver.com, because we have, our kits are fully plug and play ready. And I use the word kits. They're not kits. Our units are fully assembled, fully plug and play ready, and they're ready to go. Now, the one thing that I do want to mention is the price currently right now on the Mini Carver is $2,579. $2,579 includes the carver, the router, the Planet CNC TNG motion controller software. And let me get myself back in here. Let's see if I can split screen. Hopefully all of that stuff you were able to hear me talking while I was in the background and everything. We were just doing a solo there. But the unit does come for $2,579. It does come with the Vectric VCarve Pro design or desktop design software, which is phenomenal for getting started and everything. But users do have the option of upgrading to one of the other options, Pro or Aspire, if they so choose. So the $2,579 price, the only thing that's bad news about that, and Burl and I are going to talk about this and kind of explain why in a moment, but that price is only valid till the 26th of this month. And I'll let Burl kind of talk about that when he comes back and joins us. But you know, on the 26th, the digital wood carver units are going to experience a small price hike for the year due to raw material goods and costs going up. We've held off as long as we could, but there is going to be about $100 increase on the Mini Carver. And so if you are looking at interested in buying one, over the next couple of days would be a great time to order, because on the 26th, we will be increasing the price by $100. And we'll talk about that. Now, Burl is coming back and sitting down, and so we'll get him back into the stream. Hey, Burl.
Hey.
Thanks for joining us again. Hey, that was pretty cool watching that carve. Hopefully the guys and girls got to see it. We got to see a little bit of that motion camera action and all. But I know you were, I think you could hear me.
I think you were, yeah, you did.
I think you were trying to keep up with what I was saying and stuff. So great job on that, because I was all over the place. It wasn't kind of systematic, but I was trying to fill in all the blanks and stuff on the Mini Carver, because it is a cool machine and everything. And it's great for getting, if you're looking at getting a CNC in your shop for the start of your business, to add to your just current workflow, or just something to make some very cool gifts and projects and things for family and friends, the Mini Carver is a great intro level unit to get into. And Burl, best news of all is they can grow with digital wood carver, right? So if they start off with their Mini Carver, if they start to grow and things pick up and things change for them, they could actually do a trade-in. They could trade in their Mini Carver towards the purchase of a bigger unit. Yeah, and we have that option.
Right.
Sometimes.
We don't get a lot of them, and but we do. You know, right at the moment. Actually, today we sold a used Mini as odd circumstance there. I do have a 2440. It was a trade-in. A gentleman purchased a 5100, and I know we've got one in the future. Another trade-in of a 2440 going up to that more industrial level of a machine. So yes, we do.
We can grow. Now keep in mind, guys and girls, we do get trade-ins, but don't call us or bombard us or email us looking for trade-ins, because when we have a trade-in come in, it literally goes right back out. I mean, they turn around on a first come, first serve. It's very rare that we have any in stock to where you could call up or email and say, hey, do you have one in stock? No. What we do is, if we do get one in as a trade-in, we will put an announcement out, generally on our Facebook or something like that. But usually, Burl, I mean, they're in and out pretty quick. Yeah, so I wanted to put that caveat. I didn't want people going, oh, wait a minute. Hey, let's see if we can, there's those chances where, you catch one of our notifications on Facebook and, hey, I'm going to be the first caller in or whatever, but it's not a regular thing. Because, Burl, I've found that some of our customers will actually hang on to their mini carver and still get a bigger unit. I'm kind of thinking like Tippy Looter. He's kind of on the top of my brain. He knows his mini carver does certain little, like his coasters and all, and he's got a bigger unit that does other items and things like that. So we have customers that actually will just add to their inventory versus trade in and all. But it's nice that we do offer a service like that, because you never know where you're going to go and what your business and your life is going to take you. You could just skyrocket. You could come up with that niche product and boom. And we want to be there for our customers where they can grow with their software. They can upgrade from desktop to pro just by paying the price difference of the software. That's a great thing. They don't lose any money in their software. They just pay that price difference to move up. And then also with our machines, you get a trade-in value towards the purchase of a bigger one, or just add another one to your inventory. I think we've got quite a few customers, Burl, if you count back, that actually have multiples of our machines in their shop.
Yeah, we do. And there's a lot of them that just what you're saying, their business has expanded and just, redundant when it comes to having an extra one there. So number one, they can produce more, but also, there's certain seasons that you also can't be down, holiday seasons and stuff like that. We can tell you guys get busy because we get busy with questions and if things happen. That's generally when it does. But yeah, talking about that, I think, and I may be missing somebody, but I believe we have a gentleman in Texas that has either 6 or 7. I've lost track of it. I know he still uses them because I still talked to him probably a couple weeks ago. They sent some stuff in.
And another good point, what about these individuals that have multiple locations? I'm thinking like a Jerry Williams kind of situation where he has a home down in South Florida during the winter time that he stays. I think it's Florida that he stays at. And then he has a home up north. And he's like, I love my carver and I like to be carving all the time. So, when he's in one location or another, he's got a carver at each location. And he's one of the ones that started out with a mini carver.
He did.
And jumped into the bigger unit and stuff. So there's guys and girls. The whole point of all of that is depending on your situation, if you have been on the fence looking at a CNC machine and you're just not sure which way to go because there's different ones in the market and, costs vary, definitely give a good, strong consideration to the mini carver because it is a great entry-level machine. And Burl, we use the word entry level very lightly because it can handle those really nice 3D models and 2D cuts and things like that. And it really, it can kind of keep up with the 2440 as far as, light production and things. The only difference really is its size. I think, I mean, it's, it does pretty good. It holds its own in our house.
Exactly. But yeah, I've got a couple people in mind that, it may not be their full-time job, but it is one of those deals where they're probably carving on it at least 2 to, even 5 to 7 nights. They go to their full-time job and this is what they do in the evenings, weekends, stuff like that. I know quite a few of them that have it, whether it's size constraint, just literally, when we developed the 18 by 24, just going back in why we developed it, because the 2440 was the first machine, was 2 things in mind. Obviously, cost is, it's less expensive when it comes to that. So we wanted to get into, people that can't quite make that jump to the 2440, but also is area. Some people have a very small, workshop. So if you take up the big unit is literally 4 by 3 by 4 foot, 3 foot wide by 4 foot long area that it requires to, be in your shop. And that's a lot of square footage if you're, in a small workshop. So, and the other nice thing with this is that it's small enough to put on your bench, but it also can be moved. One person can do it. Maybe, if you're, got a bad back, 2 people, but it's easy to, to make it mobile. From if you got a workbench where you got to move it off and move it over. So that's a couple of the reasons we developed the Mini was cost, but also square feet in your shop when it comes to that.
Absolutely. And one of our customers is in the chat, Brandon Wyckoff, and I think he's using military time, but he's like, it never stops. He's constantly running a machine, and he's knocking it out of the park. He's doing a great job. And Brandon, while you're here, thanks for that very nice post that you put in the Facebook group, just kind of bragging on, you made the decision to buy, best decision you ever made, and growing. So I appreciate that and sharing that word and all. So big shout out to you. Reginald Crown, what is the cost of the software to copy pictures? So when you're carving and everything with the Veteran V-Carve desktop software, it's included with the price. And it can do photos as far as clip art photos and things like that. But there's also a photo V-Carve option that will take a V-bit and carve photos. And that's kind of already included. That used to, Burl, back a year or so ago, they used to have a separate photo copying program like Photo V-Carve. Now it's kind of integrated in. So there's really no additional cost to be able to work with photos, Reginald, as far as that goes.
They do still sell Photo Carve, and it's for the 3D or litho pad. For the V-Carve. Exactly,
because Photo V-Carve did 3-dimensional litho fanes, those kind of lit up 3-dimensional images, and that was a great way to be able to do that without having a spire, and stuff. Exactly. But Burl, now I'm going to hit you with some questions that I think you're going to be best to answer. So number one, why is the Digital Wood Carver Mini Carver more expensive than others in some cases? As it being a hobby unit.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up, and you had talked a little bit about a while ago. So keep in mind, as you're shopping for a CNC, there's a lot of things to, just because it is a CNC, make sure you do your homework. One of the things that, if a person goes on eBay or someplace like that and purchases a unit, pictures can be deceiving. When it comes to that, I get quite a few people, and Laney, I know you have, whether it's in shows or questions, that someone has went on and purchased a very inexpensive, low-end CNC router. And number one, you don't get any support, and we'll go into support. I want to get into that a little bit more, but literally there's just a lot of things that come with it that people don't realize. How you integrate with your computer. We're not all equal. Some of them have to go with old technology of using parallel ports, and computers haven't put those on, in with them, integrated in for years. The other thing is your sizes. The smaller you go, a lot of times they will use different type of bearings. We use literally ball bearing linear slides. Those are more expensive than just a small bushing sliding over a rod. So some of the things that we put into it, but also in that lower end, 18 by 24 inches is a large footprint. So if you compare it to some of the other smaller ones, so we feel we give you a little more area there, but also in our package, we include, number one, the software. A lot of them will use freeware, whether it's for the controller software or the design software. And sometimes, I compare it to a bicycle or a car. I mean, yes, a bicycle would take you to the grocery store, but all of us would prefer to get in our car and start it and go there. Can they carve? And even backing up into our TNG software, there is ways in that you can do some very basic, like carving. It's built into it and integrated. But we know that is a real struggle for customers to do that. So that's why we promote like the V-Carve Pro. It brings you a lot of ability to do a lot more than just take a V-bit and outline something.
Sure.
So those are things, and just do a lot of comparison. We can go into like our router. You talked about our relays. A lot of the lower end ones don't have those. You got to flip the router on And if you'd happen to go to supper, the thing's going to sit there and run, or like me, I'd forget about it, and the thing runs all night, you know, out in your shop, and you know, cooks it, you know, because but on that. But that's a few items.
And and another point, Burl, that you have to make. I mean, I'm surprised that this didn't come up because you're on the manufacturing side. Some of those other units and everything, they're saving. They're able to come in at a lower price because they're not doing the manufacturing. When I say that is they come in as kits. When you buy them, they come in as parts, and so the user is doing the assembly and everything. And you know, sometimes, I mean, you can get like literally 600 different parts of all the screws and nuts and bolts and whatever the case may be. These are fully assembled from the factory, so there you know, there's a value in that where it's plug and play ready, and everything. So we take that consideration. But also, you had alluded to the support side of things. Yes. And what customers or potential customers need to know with Digital Wood Carver is right out of the gate, you have a 2-hour orientation training on how to use the software and machine. And that is a one-on-one training. And I am actually the trainer for Digital Wood Carver. So you actually get to work with me. That helps get a customer started on the right foot. Aside from that, we have some great new videos that we just released to help a user install their software or design their very first project in the software, or even carve it on the table. There's videos on how to use the different accessories and things, but they can always call us. We are accessible to the customers 24 hours a day, Monday through Saturday, at our toll-free number. And I'll throw that toll-free number up on the screen if you guys and girls ever have any more requiring any more information. But our customers can reach out to us around the clock via text message, phone call, or email, and they can get help with their designs. They can get help with their units. They can get help with their software, whatever the situation may need. We're there for them, and I really can't say that that's kind of universal for other competitors in the industry and things. So support is very big. We also, Burl, teach live classes every Tuesday night. We stream live design classes for our customers on our YouTube channel, Spindle TV. And that's a great learning resource because there's hundreds of videos on there for them to refer back to, but they can always catch us live, and they're interactive. You can ask questions, get live answers, and all of that wonderful stuff as well. So there is a lot of support, but one of the best support features that we have is our user group. It's not one of the best that we have. I mean, I think the stuff that we provide, that I provide, is the best, but our user group is amazing. We have a collection in the Facebook group. We have a private group on Facebook called the Digital Wood Carver Owners Group, where the owners, they share information with each other. They help answer each other's questions. They share project files with one another. They collaborate. And that is such a great resource because you don't feel like you're doing I don't think that was the right term.
It certainly is. But, and we could go on, you know, with the Vectric side of it. I mean, we don't design the
Vectric's
software.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. They have an interactive manual that's, you know, integrated with the software. You know, you click on help, and literally any button that's on your screen, you get a, you know, drop down of a description and a picture of what that feature does. They have a lot of videos, but certainly I tell people, if you have a desire to learn, you know, we all struggled with smartphones to start with. And this is one of the areas that I think a lot of people, it's that little hurdle to get over. They're a little bit scared of it. But I don't know as of today that if somebody has the desire, and I'm sure there's people that, you know, give up because they, you know, for whatever reason, they just didn't put the effort in it. But as of today, I have not heard of anybody that has a desire that wants to, that cannot learn to do it. And I always, my training, or when I train people, you know, crawl, walk, and run. And people probably started hearing that from me. But what that does is, you know, we didn't learn everything at once. You start off small. Nameplates or something very small. And then, but you get the routine of it. Once you have that pattern of doing a very simple design, putting your wood on, zeroing it out, starting it up, running it, watching it go through there, you feel comfortable with it. You know, watching it run, knowing what to look for on those. Then you're going to get into the design side of it, and you'll start adding things to it. Maybe next you'll bring in some images that you found on the internet. You know, whatever, you're into dogs, horses, tractors, cars. I mean, you could go anywhere, nature, all kinds of stuff. And then you just grow with it. And then, believe it or not, you look back after months or years or whatever and look at some of those first things, and you kind of laugh. I laugh at my stuff and say, you know, that was pretty simple. You know, what you see, you know, with it now. But yeah, that's kind of the way there.
Let me chime in here. Reginald said, is the Mini Carver capable of carving 3D carvings? Absolutely. Yes, it is very capable of carving 2D, 3D carvings, cutting projects out, shapes and things. And you can carve in and engrave in a variety of materials. Absolutely. Burl, moving on to another question and everything. Right now we're getting into the beginning of the year, and we are at tax season. And there are, you know, this is kind of for me a good time that I look at my investment for the year. We have stimulus checks coming in and things like that, but also taxes. I look at my taxes and say, okay, what's going to get me going for this year and stuff. And if you are on the fence, or if you're looking at a CNC machine, now's the time. But Burl, I had alluded to this earlier while we were showing the Mini Carver carving, but I explained to everyone that the price of the $25.79 is good until the 26th, because we are the Mini Carver is going to experience about $100 increase in price. And I told them that when we come back and we talk about that a little bit, we've held off as long as we could, but we're kind of at the point where we do have to do our price increase for the year. So the Mini Carver will be going up about $100, and our other units will be going up their value and stuff. But can you, as the manufacturer, can you kind of allude to, just so people know why, that we're not just, you know, out there just to, we're rubbing hungry. We actually have to kind of, it's our demand. We've been kind of forced to, right?
Yeah, right now, and especially now, and we've done a good job of. I couldn't tell you the last time. It's been a couple years. It's been a good while since we've had a price increase in the manufacturing world. If you're familiar with it right now, steel or any type of metals is they're going crazy price wise, and certainly some of that will fluctuate. You know, when manufacturing's up and stuff like that, or certain demands call for it. Right now, you know, steel material is going crazy. Unfortunately, it's raising like 20-25%. Now we know that that's a little bit of a cycle, but unfortunately, even though it can be a cycle, it's always gradually going up, even over periods of time. So, you know, obviously we're not jumping up, you know, 20-25%, but we got to raise it a little bit to compensate for the overall of going up. Sure. And steel is just one thing. So energy.
Yeah, and I'm sure people understand that. You know, I'm sure that they can understand it. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, if you're looking for some reason that you might have an end of year bonus that you're been burning a hole in your pocket, or you've got your stimulus income coming in, or your income tax, and you're looking at adding a CNC machine to your arsenal of tools, or to your shop, or to your business, we do encourage you, definitely give us the opportunity to work with you, or talk to you, at least, you know, give us a call and fill us out, because you are just watching us here, and Burl and we're talking about a machine, and take the time to get to know us, and you'll understand that we are there for our customers every step of the way. That's what I love about Digital Wood Carver, Burl. And, you know, I came on, I think I'm at we're about 5-6 years now together, something like that. And best decision I ever made was to bring a Digital Wood Carver into the shop. And also then eventually I ended up joining the family, you know, and then kind of helping out with sales and training and stuff. And you guys are fabulous over there at Digital Wood Carver, you know, and I say you guys like it's a different, I consider myself part of you guys, but I think, you know, we've done a great job with being there for our customers and just developing an awesome product. And we're always thinking, Burl. We're we don't get stale and all. So if there's something that we can come up with or something down the road to grow our line, we'll do that. But right now, we have our 4 main lines, and this is our intro unit.
Yeah,
and it's a powerful one.
Somebody's asking about a dinosaur. Honestly, if I've made one, I have no idea. So, well, Laney, maybe you had. So.
Now, I know the famous lion, right? Our little lion puzzle that you made and everything. I've never seen the dinosaur, but I haven't made a dinosaur yet. But,
that's why I was laughing.
Sorry, Mike. That's what that was funny.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, just to reiterate again, February 26th, there will be $100 price increase, but right now you can get it for $25.79. Burl, the last couple of things that I want to go in our last, 12, 13 minutes of the show here is I'd like to just kind of step into oh God, I had the train of thought right here, bro, and it was gone. I'd like to step back a little bit. Go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, if you've lost it, I've got something that we can go over.
Go ahead. Well, I collect my thoughts. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Now I know what Mike, it was a lion and the tail.
It was the lion.
Yes.
I don't know where that lion is. It's
my daughter has one of them. Man, I know it's around here. Sorry. It's probably in storage in our show stuff. Right. But one of the things that we haven't talked about is on the 18x24, and Laney, write your thought down so you don't forget it, and we'll go into it here in a second, is the accessories for it. Even though it's an 18x24, there are a lot of accessories for it. We offer a stand with casters. The laser, the 6-watt laser can go on the Mini. We do offer a four axis on that. Some of the other options, little accessories, dust brushes. You had already talked about skirts versus dust brushes. Those are available for it. The quick set, engraving bit. So there's a lot of different things. There are a few restrictions that you can't, the 2440, but there is a lot of accessories that we offer for the 18x24 too. And just to, so people know that, if they wanted to do maybe laser engraving, that you can still do that with a 18x24. Obviously, we can on the 24x40, but it can go on that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and what I wanted to circle back was it was kind of on your thought that you said earlier when you were talking about people that had the desire to learn. Yes. I want everyone to know, because a lot of our potential customers, or a lot of people that are kind of looking at CNC, I wanted to just allude a little bit more to that, because one of the things is sometimes they're intimidated by the aspect of computers, or just the technology itself, as far as the CNC. But as you were talking about that, understand, folks, that's why we are there for our customers every step of the way, because like Burl said, crawl, run, walk. Crawling being, start out with learning those V-carves, because the great thing about that software, Burl, is a lot of the steps are literally rinse and repeat. The only thing that really changes is the actual design that they're carving, but the way they create tool paths and things like that is pretty much the same. Yes. With the crawl, start to learn those V-carve projects and kind of get the ball rolling. Just get familiar with the operation of the machine, then get into kind of 3D carving and have some fun with that. And then as your skills start to grow, you can start coming up with unique designs and products and things. And ultimately, before you know it, it doesn't take very long. So along the software term, low learning curve, support and training helps kind of offset that low learning curve to get you started. And don't be intimidated if you don't know how to use a computer, because during your initial orientation training with Digital Wood Carver, if there's any things that you're kind of stuck on how to navigate your own, the computer, because you're not used to it that much, we'll guide you, because it's literally step 1, 2, 3. And once you learn step 1, 2, 3, it kind of becomes rinse and repeat in a lot of ways. So I really wanted people that might be on the fence and the technology side, Burl, I really wanted to kind of step back and reiterate that it's not, don't let that intimidate you, because it's a wonderful thing to get into, and it's very easy to get into. But it's not always the case, Burl, I don't want to talk about other companies and stuff like that, but some machines and all with some software might be a little bit over the head and a little bit more intimidating, and the learning curve might be higher. It's not always easy, but with the Vectric software, with the Digital Wood Carver units themselves and the Digital Wood Carver support, you've got kind of the three key points of success to really just take off running. And I just that was my thought. I wanted to get that out of my head and say it, Burl. So
yeah, somebody asked a little bit about the 4th axis on the Mini, so I'll cover that a little bit. And if you can look at the note on the file type, I'll let you answer after I get done here. The 18x24, the 4th axis is much, much smaller. On the 2440, it's off to the side. We can allow a lot more room to carve, up to 8-inch diameter, 36 inches long. The Mini does have a much, much smaller. 3-inch diameter is our max. 18 inches long is our max. So it is going to be more of those small miniature bats, ink pen type of things. It's going to be much smaller configuration on the 4th axis. But the capacity is there when it comes to that.
Absolutely. And Burl, as far as the file type, SVT, SVT file types are not one of the types of files that you can import. Just a quick rundown. When it comes to vector files, you can import DXF, DWG, EPS, AI, PDF, SVG, and SketchUp SKP files. Pictures, bitmap type pixeled images, JPEG, PNG, bitmap, GIF, and TIFF. 3-dimensional models, STL, OBJ, PRJ, your project files. Those are kind of your 3 most common ones. Right. OBJ, STL, and PRJ, but there's also 3ds, .x, and about 6 other type of model files. But SVT, that particular one, I've never heard of it before, is not one of the available imported type files, but there are so many others. DXF, David, yes, DXF, both on a 2D form and a DXF 3D you can import, yes.
Back on the weight, somebody asked about a weight. The 1824 is around 90 pounds. One person can lift it, but it's pretty awkward. Definitely 2 people can lift it very easily when it comes to that on the weight wise. Is the price on the 1824
4th axis going up?
The 4th axis itself on the 1824 is not, but the whole unit itself is.
Yes, and I believe, folks, that's how it's going to go. We have our core units, our 1824, 2443 axis, and 2444 axis packages that will experience the price increase. But as far as I know right now, as far as accessories and things, there's no price increase that we are looking at right at this moment or anything for our accessories and things, guys and girls that are concerned about that or asking about that. So thanks, Lee, for that question. Now, Burl, you have mentioned the accessories and everything, but one of the accessories, that 6-watt laser that we can attach to it, that really, accompanied with the new laser module and Vectric and everything, really kind of takes the carving to a whole nother level where you can just create a whole nother area of laser engraving and doing some pretty cool things for like cutting board engraving or whatever the case may be. Right. And the laser attachment is an accessory, ladies and gentlemen, and it's about $849 for that laser attachment. It's a 6-watt laser engraver, and that just adds to so much of the capability of what the machine can do. Burl, we are in about 6 minutes before we close out tonight, and I want to answer Mike's question. Does the Vectric VCarve Pro come in Linux version? So when it comes to the Planet CNC TNG controller software, that software is available in Windows, Linux, Mac, and also Raspberry Pi operating systems. We provide the Windows operating system software with ours, but the Vectric VCarve Pro currently right now is Windows-based. Windows XP to Windows 10, but it is a Windows-based software. You can run the Vectric software on a Mac as long as you are running it in Parallels, which is the Windows operating system within the Mac. And but it is a Windows-based system. So I wanted to answer that question for Mike Taylor. Burl, any closing thoughts that you have in this last 5 minutes of our session?
Well, just kind of wanted to talk about our shows. We're still not, looks like some of the shows are coming on for later in the year, possibly.
Yeah.
So I've been getting some emails, and some of them have stepped up, and we'll have to play those by ear. So we plan on doing these shows throughout the year, the virtual ones. Obviously it's not ideal. Sometimes, it's nice to get out to the customers, but it is our way of still trying to reach out so that we can show off products. The 1824 is a nice little unit. Since we've been producing it, it's done very, very well, for our customers. The 6-watt laser, I'll have to do a shout out. I was hesitant of releasing that, and since we have, and it still continues to be a very, very strong accessory. See some of the stuff that customers show us pictures and stuff, just blows me away as what all they can do. But as far as closing, the 1824 is a nice little unit. I will tell you right now, sales have been very, very strong. We're at that 2 to maybe even 3 week window as far as order boards. Having just a little bit of issue of getting some supplies. We are getting, there's not anything that has stopped us, or it's slowed us down a little bit, but we're a little bit of lead time. So get in there before the price does go up, and be patient with us. We'll get those units produced and tested for you. It is a ready to go unit on that. So that's about it.
And that is something that they need to know. We do test every unit before it goes out the door to make sure that they're getting a top running product and everything. Speaking of shows, bro, I'm going to be hosting or being part of a presenter at the Canadian Woodworking Show, March 5th, 6th, and 7th, online at thewoodshows.com. For any of our guests or visitors that might be in the Canada area, they will have their virtual show coming up March 5th, 6th, and 7th. And I will be one of the, and we're going to be talking about generating an income with the CNC and other things in those seminars. We'll be doing that weekend of March. We also have Spindle TV, ladies and gentlemen, youtube.com/Spindle TV. There is live classes every Tuesday night from 7:15 p.m. until around 9:30 or 10 o'clock. But those classes are all recorded. There's over 200 videos on that channel of different design classes. If you're kind of interested in seeing what designing in the Vectric software is all about, definitely check out that channel. Be sure to check out our digitalwoodcarver.com website and join us on that. And they can always catch us at digitalwoodcarver.com. I'm sorry, the Digital Woodcarver page on Facebook. So facebook.com/digitalwoodcarver. Burl, we're going to be doing these live events just like last month's event. We do them the last Wednesday of every month. And next month, we're going to actually be kind of showcasing a little bit about, we're going to kind of talk about some of the accessories and show a little bit of them off for the Mini Carver. And we'll kind of give them some highlight next month. And then after that, guys and girls, we're going to be talking about our DWC1824 and we're going to kind of progress through our line as these shows go on. So we're kind of getting a showcase going on of these different products and stuff. So hopefully you join us for those as well. If you're not subscribed to the Digital Woodcarver YouTube channel, please do so and hit that notification bell, because every time we put out a how-to video or a live stream, you'll get notified, so that way you can come and join us for these events. Burl, I want to thank you as always for everything you do for me and everybody else out there in the Digital Woodcarver community. And thank you for joining us tonight. And everybody that joined us, and Jake, I know you're still in that group comment section there. Jake is a behind the scenes master for us and getting the word out about Digital Woodcarvers. So thank you for that, Jake. And thank you to all the customers who threw in comments tonight. Yes. Talking about the customer service and stuff. We couldn't do what we do without you. And, you're there for us just as much as we are for you. And keep spreading the word. We appreciate you. All right, everybody. Well, I want to thank you, Burl. if you got any last things to say, now's the time.
I don't. As always, Laney, you did an excellent job. And once again, I would just want to ditto the thanks to the customers out there that helped us out tonight. They're always willing to do those. So until next time, be safe out there. It can be a crazy world sometimes, but be safe. We'll talk to you.
Absolutely.
See you next time.
All right, everybody. You have a great night. Thank you.